Series 2-0.
Yeah, indeed, and I like the way that they've set things up again. RMN gonna take the bristleback mid. I learned the secret to this hero way back in 2011. After a late night with No Tail, he gave it to me straight. WWWW. If you can pull that off, you'll be an S tier bristle in no time. And I love the draft. A bit of weird movements, like we saw Timbersaw picked into AA, and then later in the draft we saw Smashers take DK into Timbersaw. So just a matter of how these teams value these heroes, they'll draft them even into what most would consider hard counters. But I do like, honestly, what both teams have. The Pugna AA combo is pretty solid. It's something that Crow and the boys would know well. That was a huge staple of their drafts back at TI7 when they took home the title.
So do you feel like some of these weirder picks, we're going to watch Kuro. He's dead, right?
Maybe.
Certainly dead. Rasmus is going to be the one to take first blood. Seemed like Smashers didn't really quibble over who was taking the last hit. They all just kind of went for it. And they'll get the 2 bounty runes split still.
Yeah, I like Rasmus putting himself on the DK. You know, he's had enough Ravage, way too long of a cooldown. It's tough to use appropriately. DK stun, you just throw that out on anybody. It'll be back up again, no problem.
Also very different in the aspect of one takes towers, the other defends towers, right? It feels like in some ways Smashers said, okay, can we take the tempo this game, guys? Because I don't want to let Nigma just run at us like they were doing and try and defend every tower. Let's actually... let's do that to them a little bit.
Captaining from the offlane is already hard enough. When you put yourself on a hero that has this massive cooldown, it's just annoying. You can't do things. So you're trying to make calls, but at the same time, your fear and your lack of cooldown kind of prevent you from helping the team get active because you're just useless for 2 minutes at a time.
This lane is kind of an interesting one because Elder Titan, one of the best laners in the game, no doubt. But DK can kind of deal with that aggression thanks to his inherent armor. He's also got a stun, which helps a lot against melee heroes. And then that stun can lead into Lina doing a whole bunch of damage. So
I'd like to see him get the stun as well. And you can do a lot of work with Gilgar up here.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Dragon Knights do that over the last, 6 months. Level the Dragon Tail just to secure CS. And in this lane, it's got the extra benefit of setting up a Light Strike array.
Yep. My eyes are on the mid lane, though. Stormer specifically, I think, has got to play a bit better. He had multiple deaths in the previous game that were just straight up his mistakes. Pugna, similar high risk, high reward. He's going to need to know his limits a bit better. His hero is so key in this game against all these strength heroes.
Yeah, I mean, he's got plenty ways to kind of defend himself with Decrepify. He's life drain, can actually compete against a lot of these strength heroes. They're damage over time. ILTW actually copping a lot of damage here. Gilgar can keep chasing him. He's got another LSA. ILTW put himself in a bit of danger here. Nice. The Slight is going to be able to dodge it, but there's still a couple more shots coming in. Fortunately, Rasmus does not have Breathe Fire right now. Gilgar would really like to take away that healing salve, but at least they keep ILTW out of CS range for a while.
I was going to say, Rasmus, go help your boy.
And they turn right back around and start hitting Kuro back.
Yeah, it's a really aggressive lane up top. Nobody feels happy laning here. It's like, I just want to CS. Instead, I've got to keep dealing with this guy trying to hit me in the face instead. Bottom lane GH, you got to be careful here. Ace wants to land the stun into Cold Feet combo. That's effectively 100% guaranteed, but if you go Shadow Realm, that'll of course disjoint the Wraith King Wraithfire Blast. But expect this lane to get a little harder for Smashers the longer it goes. Mind control certainly on Timber.
Mind control Timbersaw can definitely start taking over the lane. So all important to try and win it now while you can. And they're doing a good job of it. 19-2 for the Wraith King. Though the Timbersaw has pretty good CS as well.
Nice juke there. GH dodging the stun. Let's see. RMN. I want to also make sure that we see some stacking come out from GH. The benefit of having this Timber is that at a point you'll be able to ditch. He'll have enough armor stacks that he's just not going to go down. And then he can look to get hard camp and ancient stacks going, which will be very nice for his mid-bristle. start clearing those as early as level 7 or 8.
Ace going to be run down here. Bramble's doing a lot of work. Ace still has his stun to protect himself if need be, but it's not. And yeah, this is about that time the lane's going to start looking pretty rough. And I don't know if they're going to be able to, like, rotate. Pugna certainly can deal with Timbersaw. If you have enough disables, then Life Drain will just start working him. Yeah. But
the trouble is that your only real active playmaker this game is actually ILTW. And if you check out the CS, he is not smiling. This lane, you know, we talk a lot about Lina 4 position. It is just so frustrating to deal with. And yes, Shiver, it will be nerfed. Apologies. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it was just 2 patches ago that this hero was the strongest 4 position, and it's showing itself in this patch as well as being one of the best ones. I'm not sure why we rebuffed it.
Me neither.
It was like, this is the strongest 4, and it was like, okay, let's put a damper on this a little bit. And ILTW may actually still be... he's fine.
He was actually dead there. They miscued. They landed both stuns at the same time. Rasmus was spamming it because he was losing vision in the trees, and then Gilger hit his LSA, but the overlap means that that will be an Ember that survives and also collects a free salve, courtesy of Kuro. But this is just an impossible lane thus far for the Ember Spirit. Finally has 2 points Flame Guard, but definitely not feeling good.
800 gold spent on consumable. What is his net worth right now? Show me Tofu's net worth. I need to see this. All right, so he's, since the start of the game, he's netted himself about 250 gold.
Hey. Could be worse. This is where the Bristleback's lane becomes untenable. You can't really do much against a Stormer Pugna that just drains you.
Yep. And this is where Stormer needs to be able to appropriately pressure. Nice LSA, making use of that added AoE. And he's still dead, though, because there was that rotation from GH as Gilger will be found in the jungle.
You're all right with this, though.
Yeah, 3 heroes, and DK's still farming. You can't really do anything to him right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, same is true for MC on the Timber as we watch him just pressure poor Tofu.
Yeah, and GH can rotate. What does Tofu do in this game?
Yeah.
What do you do as an ancient apparition at this point?
You're just sad, man. Speaking of sad, RMN, same deal. The big difference here for Hellbear Smashers, and I like this change, they actually have tower damage, Cap. Previous game, they had nada. This time, you can actually do stuff in the mid game. A big part of why that last match was so hard for them was they lost their tier 1 mid and their tier 1 top before they even really got any pressure going. They had to backdoor towers and hit them for 15 seconds just to get the structure damage, and this time it'll be a lot simpler for them.
You can see Stormer, like, I like that him as Pugna, he treats taking this tower as like a hugely important objective. He's really trying to take it as quick as possible so he can start rotating around and helping some of his side lanes. Maybe even empty out that mid lane for someone like Tofu, who doesn't currently have a lane to play in.
It's just so funny watching Armin. I don't think that's going to... I thought he was actually just going to decrep and drain there, but wants to go buy his arcanes, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what I expected to see. You can see Armin, he's pulling the creep wave, likely over to the jungle. I think he should have done that a bit earlier. I've seen some Bristles do that as early as 3-4 minutes into the game to make it a part of their rune control, but also allows them to accelerate their farm.
Now the tri-lane comes to top. The Dragonite, it's a good time. He's level 6. They just add in the Ancient Apparition. Just another body to kind of join in. It's not like he's helping bottom lane anyway, and they can go ahead and start hitting that safe lane tower together.
Yep.
Or they're actually going to fake it out here a little bit. They're moving both the supports to mid.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Armin is going to stack the Ancients. Nice job.
Where are the supports going? Okay, he just stacks. That's it.
Tofu would love a lane somewhere, but doesn't really exist. It's a tough AA game. 3 cores that are really happy to just run at you. They do get the ward. Well done. That's something.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Barely living there, GH.
Share in your wisdom, Titan.
Here comes... Okay, is he dead? He's dead. And Gilger will very likely have his life traded out, but the DK could still come over and help him, certainly. He's going to hit the stun onto 2, the LSA onto 2 as well. Rasmus keeps him back and keeps Gilger alive.
Yeah. But that is the Timber factor we can witness in the bottom lane. There's nothing you can do. It's why this hero is a first pick. It's why they're willing to take it into even the AA counter.
Oh, hey!
Hey!
A fairy's trinket!
Just what I always wanted.
Wow. It's like he was destined.
And they have DK form ready. Expect Mind Control to TP top momentarily, though, as he is your counter pusher. Picks up the hood. Maybe they just give it up. He'll defend mid, if anything.
I mean, one problem. Okay.
A little late.
Yeah.
But he's here.
It's very dead. They really need to like actually catch these heroes. Otherwise, they just made everybody go top lane without a good fight. Okay, Rasmus, you should be able to catch him and at least this stun. As, yeah, with the Timber Saw coming through, that'll cut him down to size pretty quickly. See if they can chase after and get a little bit more here. There's not much to slow him down, but there is the tier 2 coming up soon. Stormer turns around, goes for the life drain. It keeps him alive for a little bit longer, but yes, Nigma in their rotation do manage to kill 2 cores. And maybe even take an Ancient stack as well.
That was really well done by Nigma there. They had to collapse. Like, as you said, they brought 5. You need to be able to pursue and get kills. The downside of the draft, limited disable, but they have incredible damage, and they're just untargetable. MC is actually playing, like, the role of initiator. It's the second kill he's picked up with handy chakram and body usage.
I will say, those last 2 deaths are totally unnecessary, right?
True.
Like that was just a bit of a mystery. I understand Stormer's like, oh, I don't want to leave my captain behind and stuff, but like, there's 5 people. Like, you know, you could just take the L. Yeah. It's a small L. It's a lowercase L.
When you're healing somebody that dies, it's like that. You know, it's like when you ever seen those scenes in the movie where the guy is distracting the lions, raptors, whatever the creature is. He's like, hey, over here.
Yeah.
And then they start running after you.
Oh yeah.
You got to think that far.
Oh shit moment.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Why did I think this was a good idea? Yeah. Because now you've just been hurting yourself. Your frontliner's gone. Mind Control is being chased down right now. He's got a Dragon Tail in a second. If they can actually hit it with stopping him from Timber Chain, they do. And they get the kill. Mind Control falls.
Yeah, big rotation used, but worth it. Also, love the build from Ace. He's been off-screen farming, but top net worth, and he has the armlet build. This was not a Midas or Radiance game. Armlet. The plus armor, super effective against ET, and it's necessary to be able to go toe-to-toe with heroes like Bristle and Ember Spirit. GH with a handy solo kill. Gilger looking to chase.
Tofu's not having a fun time playing this 1v1 game against GH. Ancient Apparition against Dark Willow. You're just like the freest kill. GH, nice jukes here. Ensuring that the LSA doesn't catch him, but Decrepify still going to slow him down. They'll eventually get this kill. Oh, Terrorize.
He's still got TP.
He still does have a TP. He's going to get into the trees and try and TP maybe one Shadow Realm stuff, but they just need AoE damage to kill him. A little bit more space, I guess.
Looks like he's playing one of those Aghanim's Labyrinth levels. The traps, which, depending on your group of friends, you either were auto-skipping or always going for. The caster stack, you had to skip those. We had some players who couldn't handle the traps.
I was always a trap clearer.
I was the person that pinged, like, click here, then click here. You can do it. And yet some people would still mess it up. It was a good litmus test.
For who could click buttons.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Echo Saber. Have we seen this?
On who?
A couple of the regions. The Echo Saber after the armlet. It's the efficient build, right? It's so that you might not necessarily be picking fights, but you're always ready to fight. And it does help you scale significantly.
Big amount of burst damage. Rasmus, he is very tanky, but Timbersaw, it just makes any of these strength heroes look so easy to deal with. And Dark Willow's another one of those heroes that feels like she cuts down these big tanks as well because she just seems to have unlimited damage.
Yeah. Most definitely. What will be the play? Let's see. Aether Lens on the Pugna. Yul soon on Gilger. Rasmus just rushing a blink. Poor Tofu, man. He's just getting ran at all times.
Yeah, he really is. Cold Feet will get him some distance. Over there in Triangle, Gilger's being run at here by GH. And now, oh, this is a big kill. Getting Stormer. They're going to use the Terrorize to make sure he can't life drain anymore. And with this kill, quick and fast, as the Hellbear Smashers, they're kind of just playing 4, but not necessarily together, and they're just getting picked off all the time.
Well, that's the thing. Ace with his build, I figured would be in a much more active scenario, but it's just really weird the way this is being played out, because Nigma are playing the draft. Like, look at the tier 1. They're not even bothering with it. They have warded strictly to Slay. They're now going towards mid for the more valuable tower. Armen in trouble, though. Has the hood.
He does have GH next to him as well. Here comes Mind Control. They're going to start kiting backwards here. Rasmus is going to be stunned up, and the dangerous thing, Mind Control's coming in, but he's getting a little low on mana. Rasmus building up on the minus armor thanks to the viscous nasal goo.
Wow.
Looks like it's going to be Mind Control who's the victim of the over-aggression. And Ace is actually going to be joining in on the fight now. Almost killing GH. Stormer not able to catch up, though. And they just seem to have... Is it weird? Like, they've got stuns, but it feels like Hellbear Smashers are lacking in disables somehow. They just can't seem to grab these heroes.
I was about to say both teams don't really have stuns, but then I'm like, wait, but how do they have so many of them? It's just the lack of initiation tool. The blink should help, but it's just a problem where, you know, the 2 cores of Nigma are just kind of running rampant, and they somehow seem to find Tofu and Gilger at the start of every fight. It's really just Rasmus that has to be there.
Yeah.
Ace has to be there so that they can, you know, stun heroes and actually fight, which allows then their spellcasters to position properly.
No, that's definitely what it is. I feel like Tofu's never with a stunning hero.
Yeah.
And it's also never Tofu plus Gilger plus a stunner all in the same area, so they could just boom, 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 that hero's dead.
You saw the combo. Like, in a DK stun, the Timber died because there was so much magical burst. They don't even need auto attacks. But this is the problem, is that oh, nice deny.
They're going to try and go for RMN here. He's facing the right direction, too, for them to be able to burst him down. Nicely done. They've got the burst damage to kill any of these guys. And Timbersaw, he's actually going to go back into this one. The life drain, keeping Stormer alive, but the Terrorize now going to fear him out. He may be rooted, though. Mind Control's not going to be able to catch up to Stormer. They've got some more magic damage, and he's dead as well. Ace actually was able to chase down Kuro. They're still going to try and chase after ILTW, but he's a slippery fella. And look at GH. He's just waiting for the pickoff. He's waiting for one of these supports to be off by themselves or something.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of Smasher's game. Like, if you look at the way that Nigma have been forced to itemize, it's a first item hood on the Bristle, a rushed pipe on the Timbersaw, but they need more than that. They need defensive dispels. They need Lotuses, they need Yules, maybe even a BKB on the Bristle, just because of the threat. You know, a stun into the magical burst is just, you cannot live. There's nothing you can really do other than avoid or remove some of these spells. And Ags will be the build-up for ILTW. He has a Maelstrom, but not having the greatest game, to be quite fair. His lane was rough. And the damage output for Nigma will be there, but they need to somehow pick off the supports to start. And now I think that Smashers, they've got the memo. Like, look at this.
Fights are going really well when we're around each other, guys.
Tofu's like, I'm going to keep you between the enemy now. And this is perfect. Like, look at this. This is exactly what you want to see. They're on the same screen, but Tofu in the safer part of it.
Tier 2 items are out. There's the Blink Dagger from the Wraith King. So now, initiation's getting, like, really straightforward for Hellbear Smashers. Double Blink Daggers, double frontline heroes that can create space for our spellcaster to make sure they hit all of their spells. But Nigma, they're going to get on top of him first with the ILTW leading the charge. He managed to find Tofu. The stun coming out, Dragon Tail, the Ice Blast as well. Onto Mind Control with the life drain. They managed to burn out the Timbersaw. But RMN is right up in their face. He's doing more and more damage over time to Rasmus, but he's chased away by the life drain. The Terrorize is going to be used to make sure the Pugna is not a factor. Ace, they can't really deal with him, and if they try and run away, here come the Blink Daggers. Ace is going to be able to blink forward as well in a second here. Oh, got hit by the Quills. And looks like maybe he's going to opt not to chase.
Man, I love this build from Ace, though. This is actually so sick. His sustain is insane. He kept a possessed mask as well, so the lifesteal, like, he's full health, just 3 clicks on Ancients. And he's not really targetable in the fights. His net worth is keeping up because Nigma don't have a true hard carry. They're basically running 3 2s. He will be the strongest hero on map. And the way he's itemized, it's that it starts now.
Oh, now they've got a Yules on Gilger. Here comes the Ice Blast. I mean, these strength heroes are just ripped apart by a lot of this magic damage plus Ice Blast combination. RMN barely surviving here. And this is looking like now Nigma, they can turn the tides a little bit here. They're going to start poking at Ace first, seeing if they can take away his first life. Hellbear Smashers trying to help him out here. The life drain keeps him alive for a little bit longer. Turns around, does a good amount of damage to Mind Control. Resetting up now. The stomp. Oh, managed to blink away before he's hit by that one.
Slight miscue from Kuro there. I think his spirit was mispositioned. Otherwise, it should have stopped the blink as he came up. He was facing away, so shouldn't have been able to blink there. But alas, I don't know if you want to fight that anyway.
Crawling into the back line, but they found Mind Control first. They're going to get the jump here. A long Timber Chain through. They just need a little bit more damage, and Stormstormers got that damage to finish him off. Tofu, he will be the victim here, but that is fine for Stormstormers, especially as they get a return kill on a GH who couldn't actually get out the Shadow Realm. He gets zapped down by the Nether Ward. Rasmus sees his opportunity to be able to get fresh initiation onto the Ember Spears. They have chain stuns. He's dead. Triple kill for Stormstormer as they could just keep chasing these heroes down. The only thing that's stopping them from blinking and catching up is the Quills, but Gilger, he can certainly run him down, missing the LSA. He does still have the Yules. You're going to look for Kuro first. Feeling like maybe RMN's a little bit too much to handle, but apparently not everybody got the memo that Rasmus was going for that one. All right.
Dude, say whatever you want. Mind Control's playing like a beast. It's an impossible Timber game. He's just consistently targeted at the start of every fight, but he is with no stuns and just a pipe. It feels like he's necessary to land kills because the Chakram is effectively a disable in this game.
Is it just me, or is it again like that whole Rasmus move? That was like a perfect example of like Hellbear Smashers just not on the same page.
Yeah,
it's like they've won the fight. There's
W.
2 heroes left. You either choose to back up and say Bristleback's too tanky, or you can keep going. But whatever you do, you got to do it as a team.
And it's the same as the first game, right? You make this mistake, and now it potentially leads right into a Roche. MC, be careful. Pipe a bit late, but it will absorb some of that lasting damage. Can you finish this is the question. Here comes Hellbear.
This is getting a little dicey here. Fortunately, that's a really good sleight of fist. ILTW stunned up, but the rest of the stunners are not close enough by, but they do force him out of the Roshan pit, and it's low enough, in fact, that Hellbear Smashers, they could probably just throw the Wraith King in there if they want to. He's got reincarnation. Not going to try for it. Instead, they're going to smoke and wrap themselves all the way around. See if they can get up onto the high ground, but Nigma, they know about this, I think. Because of that war that was on the high ground, they should know. They're going to be moving over. Smoke from Nigma as well. They're going to break that smoke. ILTW leading the charge to break the smoke, making sure he doesn't get caught. Really nice jump in from Mind Control. So much damage, and he may still... No, he actually gets blasted down pretty quickly, but the damage he did is quite nice. He's going to be able to TP back into this fight as well. There was only one Ice Blast, so now he's coming in, and he's a monster that cannot be stopped. Smashers are immediately out of this fight. They're going to be chased down. It did cost them the buyback on Mind Control, but now Nigma are looking good to be able to finish up that Roshan.
Mind Control proven why he's been a champion player for literally years. Like, the cojones. He knows exactly what the plan is. He's going to do max damage combo to 2 heroes. He'll die. He'll buy back. To your point, there's only the one Ice Blast that should be able to secure them the Roche. There is a buyback on just the Lina, but I don't think you can fight this anymore.
I don't know. I did read some Reddit comments that definitely said Mind Control was washed up and bad, so...
I mean, look at his net worth. He's got to have most hero damage done at this point, because I'm just watching him consistently land spells on everybody.
Yeah.
All right, it's close. Yeah. Either way, look at the net worth. Net worth, you know, you're buying the damage for a lot cheaper, okay?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. So we compare net worth.
How about damage taken?
Done.
The damage taken numbers.
All right, now damage taken, he's got to be on top of the board, right?
I don't know if we have those numbers.
I bet that's still RMN.
It's possible. Either way, he knows what he has to do, which is mostly just die. He'll be going for the Lotus. They're going to need one of those. Here comes the Ice Blast. Oh, no. Mind Control. I'm sorry. I did it to you.
He does have an Aegis, so they're going to be able to take that Aegis away. But if Nigma can make a rotation fast enough, they might be able to punish for this one. Mind Control knows it, too. He's going to turn back in. Immediately tries to catch somebody. There's the Bramble. They've caught Stormstormer. And that ends up being, it's not like an Aegis for a full team fight, but that's a great pickoff. Oh, especially if they get ace as well, but they don't have a stun. So, all right, man, dropping an item there, but of course, ace is not going to be stopping his TP for anything.
I think you take those. I'm a little shocked, Stormstormer. You know, talk about builds that have no care for self-preservation. Octarine Core Blink Dagger. Like, he's the save. You know, he's the healing in the back line. And I understand the cast range and the CDR are excellent, but I am very, you know, we've seen even the comms. Like, this is a scenario Kuro's been in before. When in doubt, you're killing the Pugna. That's the strat. That's the game plan. So Stormstorm, you got to be really cautious. I like the warding. If you're Nigma now, it's just about getting vision, finding the back line so that you can bypass the 2 strength cores and just immediately find the AA, the Lina, the Pugna. You take them out quick, give ILTW the jump, that'll be your win condition.
It is a bit concerning, though, that Nigma have been doing okay for themselves in the last couple of fights. I would say they've won the last 2 or 3 engagements, but they're still down 2K net worth. And am I wrong about this? I feel like Wraith King is going to be the biggest, baddest core in the game.
Yes and no. The ET is a bit of an equalizer.
Okay.
Here comes the smoke. And there's now a BKB on the Ember. So in theory, Nigma should have an edge in this fight. And Bristle also, later on in the game, you kite Wraith King very effectively. It's going to be tough for Ace to win this game unless they're able to take team fights starting now in the right manner. Because if you're suddenly 1 carry against 3 cores and number 2, 3, 4 on the net worth chart, that's when it gets really shaky for you.
Yeah. All right, well, they smoke in aggressively into the enemy jungle here. They can push in the lane, maybe take this tier 2, see if Nigma wants to trade or if they want to defend. It's looking like Nigma may just go for maybe a bit of both. Leave the Bristleback to hit the tier 2 and make a smoke rotation, and Bristleback can TP in. So they're actually going to defend, but they're feinting like they're just trading.
This is a very...
Here it comes. He's going to start TPing in now. Armen shows himself right as the rest of his team is right behind all these. Oh, no, he blinked away. ILTW, he's on the hunt for the Pugna, but now he's been caught by the Yule Scepter LSA. Fortunately, he's got a BKB, so we'll shrug that off. The initiation only killing Gilger here. So far, Rasmus, he's in pretty far, and he's chasing after Kuro. But the rest of his team may need his stuns. Kuro actually forced him in order to hit the stomp and TP out. That's a cute move. GH, he dies, but immediately buys back. He sees that Ace is definitely dead. And Stormstormer, well, he's going to turn around and try and go for this kill. But because of the buyback on GH, he's got to terrorize. He's got disables to make sure that the Pugna will be chased down by RMN. And look how fast he's moving. Catching up to Tofu now. Hit so damn hard, but it wasn't quite enough damage.
Man, that was a sick fight. You can see, say, LTW, he saw the AA, completely ignored him, went straight for the Pugna, but a sick blink by Stormstormer preserves some sense of ability to fight that out. Nigma still takes the W. Really good play by Crows. You saw the 4-step into the stomp. They kill Ace, which is huge, and they get the Pugna. Kuro, that's a little bold.
And GH is not going to be able to help them either because he gets Dragon Tail by Rasmus. Rasmus taking a lot of magic damage here. And this trade-off will be worth it if it's just that 1-for-1 so far. Actually, where'd mind control die? Oh, that was his buyback death. Never mind.
Yeah, it just took a while.
I forgot he bought back, so he's been dead for a while.
He has the Lotus Orb, finally. That was such a rough fight. He actually had Wand there, but he was, I believe, still affected by AA ult. Oh, no, sorry, he wasn't. He died because he used his Timber Chain, and the mana proc killed him. It's really weird playing into Pugna as these heroes like Timber, because you take the burst before the spell cast, and it's just not really, it doesn't feel right.
Gilger needs some help. Decrepify will help him. Bristleback and Ember doing just a lot of physical damage between Slight and Quills. So Decrepify, good way to be able to save your allies there. Gilger trying to work towards an Aghanim Scepter, because obviously the pure damage would be super good. All these strength heroes are so dependent on the pipe to make sure they don't get bursted down by Ice Blast plus nukes.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Damage per net worth. Ace having the least, which is not surprising because he has the highest net worth.
Interesting. Okay, well, that last fight threw off, but still, mind control in a handy 4th place. His net worth has gone up, though. So you're getting less value, but overall more damage.
You just keep on. I'll keep handing these straws for you, Kyle. You keep grasping at them, all right?
No worries. It's what I do best. Wraith King, level 18, max out ultimate, has the AC, so that 10 armor switcheroo will be very effective as this game goes later on. It's the best item against an Elder Titan that is not removed by the natural order.
Y'all care about plate mails, or?
Yeah. And yeah, they're going to get a Lotus Orb on RMN as well. That's the key item. You needed those dispels. Very good. You'll make Rasmus stun himself. You'll remove the cold feet, the decrep. It's just necessary. But I mean, credit to Stormstormer. This man, he's really committed to this, you know, now you see me, now you don't style. Glimmer Cape after the blink. Dagon next. No thought to a BKB, armor. No. I'm just going to outplay you.
Yeah,
that's
like no Aeon Disc as an example. No. Like, what happens if you do get caught by Disable? Like, then you'd have a second plan. But Stormstormer's like, no, they won't catch me in the first place.
Exactly. Like, it worked out for Justin Timberlake in that movie about the magicians, but he had plot armor. I don't think that Kuro and Squad are going to.
You don't think Stormstormer's the protagonist of this story?
I don't know. I'm not sure what the split of the fan base and the viewership is, but in my experience, it's typically a little more Nigma favored.
Yeah, just a tad, just a tad. Something about winning that TI gives you a lot of fans.
Yeah.
You know? Something about being a storied legend like Kuro helps a bit. Man, you actually... So many old school captains, man. Rasmus has been around since Dota 1 as well as Kuro.
Yeah.
It's like...
And that's why we shouldn't understate what's on the line here. You know, Nigma, they're up a game, but keep in mind, like, Kuro has never missed a TI. I believe there's only 2 players that can say that.
Yeah.
It's Kuro and Puppy. And Puppy's got his ticket punched. Kuro, you know, they need this win. They need to be at the major, and they likely need a top 3 performance at worst in order to qualify on points. Otherwise, you know, we've seen over the last couple of days just how stacked this region is.
Yeah, unless Europe's going to dominate the next major, this region isn't looking too hot for points to TI. Yeah. Which means the field is going to be really competitive for that one slot.
Imagine like an OG versus Nigma qualifier finals.
Yeah.
Like the TI rematch, loser stays home, winner gets to go play for 40 million with the added benefit of a month and a half extra to work on the roster, iron out the kinks, and get back into championship form. But I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We got Roche. Here comes the big battle.
Rasmus inside of the pit, immediately going to find the opening here onto mind control. They can burst him down nice and fast. They do. Laguna Blade. That certainly does the trick. Half his health, and he's just gone. ILTW jumping in real deep to go for Gilgir here, but the old Scepter into the LSA is going to force out. No, he actually holds on to the BKB, jumping over like a madman. Now he pops the BKB. He sees Ace a little bit low, and they're going to go for that kill. Now, he does still have Reincarnation, and he's toggling his armlet. So he's kiting out Nigma very nicely with the BKB used and a support traded out for a core. I guess they didn't have to buy back on Stormer.
Probably not.
Not the plot armor that he was hoping for.
No, not at all. And you can see the downside of this item build. As soon as he gets caught, he's dead. There's no save. He is the save, and he's playing as if he's just better than everybody on this field. And so far, yet to prove that, but we'll see. Maybe this smoke will give him a chance at redemption.
Radiant are scanning.
Even game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Right now, 4-on-4. They get the scan, but it's still spooky.
It's good that they move all the way around like this. Otherwise, their smoke would have broken and they would have been spotted by the ward. Now the smoke breaks. Tofu is the one it breaks on. Ace immediately jumps forward. Oh, goodness. There goes Kuro, but he buys back almost immediately. Rasmus down to about half health. The Ice Blast is going to come through. The Bristleback is a pretty decent target, but they don't have any more nukes left, it's looking like. A Stormstormer is going to be gone on. The Spider Legs will only carry him so far to Crepify, and he's just out. Rasmus, he's going to have to battle it out with Ace alone here, so the supports are easily going to be chased down, but they just do not have the power anymore. TP away for one. That fails. Ace, he'll be okay. Lena will be cleaned up here, but it's looking like Nigma can very easily... I wonder, are they going to do Roshan here, or are they going to go and just hit towers? All right, they decide on Roshan. They're like, all right, it's second Rosh. It's a value one.
I mean, it's just Nigma looking to kill the Pugna, and the Pugna can't do anything about it, Cap.
Yeah.
And dies buyback, dies again. With him gone, the damage output of Smashers kind of disappears. Tofu, unfortunately, didn't really get with the team. He had the smoke broken, which then pushes him and Stormstormer to the left as the DK Wraith King get a nice kill on Kuro. Buyback, TP into the outpost.
Yeah.
Suddenly, you're now just a team that's out of position, and the numbers are even. So just unfortunate there for the Hellbear Smashers. Once again, just that little bit of disconnect hurts them in the end.
You want all that attention on the initiation that came out from Hellbear Smashers. You want them to see DK and Wraith King jumped us, boys, get them. And then your backline spellcasters have the free space, but that wasn't quite what happened. They do finally have the Aghanim Scepter for the Lina, so there's still the possibility that with a stun and then an Ice Blast plus Lina's full combo, they can bring down any of these heroes, but they just need to find the right openings here. And also got to be careful of the Aegis, Cheese, and potential buybacks.
Who took the shard? I think Ember Spirit did, so the Remnants now refresh if he gets a kill, and they also do that AoE damage. Really love how LTW's played this game. I think the itemization was perfect. The BKB so that he could fight, and now the Ags so he can fight the right targets.
Yule's just in time from GH. Counter Yule's by Gilger, but of course he's very, very stuck. And Hellbear Smashers looking a little bit lost now. So they're going to have to hold out to the high ground and hope that Nigma somehow make a fatal error. $7,000 net worth lead for Nigma at 35 minutes in, 20-26. And this is the second game of the series with Nigma already leading 1-0.
Look!
What?
Look!
What?
BKB queued up, Cap.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a good item.
That's a great item. Makes you immune to spells, stuns, disables. It's fantastic. I recommend everybody at home. You should pick one of those up.
Like right now, or?
Whenever you want, really.
Okay.
I don't think, there's oftentimes it might not be the perfect item, but I have not heard many coaches, casters, analysts, pro players ever say it was a really bad idea to buy that BKB.
Yeah, bad BKB game, really.
Never happens. So I remember talking to my brother about first picking Rubik, and he's like, what if they counter? He's like, you can't counter Rubik. You can't just pick bad spells. Doesn't work.
Okay, Gilger chained outside of the base. That's not your backline spellcaster in the position he wants to be in. Fortunately, force staffs are a thing. He gets away. Nice D ward already placed. You could see these teams have a very similar idea in both of these games of where their vision wants to be because they know where the fights are very likely going to be happening. RMN just loves dropping items around.
I wouldn't.
LTW in deep here. Can they get the stun on him? No, he gets off the BKB off the slight, and Gilger, well, he turns around, throws out the Lacuna Blade, but of course should be rather dead here. The Glimmer Cape plus Decrepify offering him some opportunity, but ILTW not hit by the LSA, so Gilger is caught once again. Minute on the clock for him, and Smashers are gonna have to, once again, head back inside their base. Unless Ace, he's going to go for Kuro here. He knows does not have buyback right now. The Light Drain doing a lot of damage to the Timber Saw, but he pops the cheese. He's going to be back up to full health, and Rasmus being run down by ILTW and all that magic damage. First life of Ace gone. ILTW getting a little bit low here, but he still has a minute on the Aegis, so he's willing to play that dangerous frontline position for his team. Nigma, another successful fight, but they don't push it too much. They just hold the base, or hold the map a little bit longer.
Yeah, they need to chill a little bit. They ran out of remnants. LTW is probably saying, guys, it doesn't matter if I respawn here. I will not really have that many tools to help you out. I love the build, too. The Aether Lens Octarine. Not really a build we see too often anymore on the Ember Spirit, but it's so good here just because he's catch. And really, it's not about the damage. It's about finding it onto the right targets. And consistently, Lina, AA, Pugna, all guns blazing for those heroes.
May not have the DK, and they won't have Dragon Form when he's back up, but Smashers are still willing to try and take the fight. You see RMN with his fresh, overwhelming blink.
It's a good
level 25.
It's a good title for the way that they're trying to play this game, which is just straight up get in. overwhelm the backlines, ignore Ace. Who cares about him? He's not really able to deal enough damage to these 3 cores of Nigma.
Yeah, they're going to start poking at him now because he's the only hero that's outside of the base. Rasmus popping his BKB to try and get initiation here.
RMN feeling himself. I don't really see Nigma ever all chat, like with their voice line spam.
Yeah.
But RMN, you know.
RMN's like,
It's much time in the sun, you know?
what do you Curry? Are you going to kick me as a player? I'm just standing in right now.
And no BKB on Rasmus now. No net worth to speak of either. He's just a blink BKB bot at this point. And unfortunately, Nigma, now that they've had that time to itemize, 3k health on the Bristle, 3k health and a BKB on the Ember, 3.2 on Mind Control, along with that Aeon Disc, plus all these Lotus Orbs, suddenly that 100-0 and a stun lock isn't really possible. And oh, they got him. No BKB, they know it.
Yep. And that's why they jump him, and that's why Ace is trying to bail him out right now with Life Drain. They're trying to keep Rasmus alive, and it's doing a little bit of work, but it only stalls inevitable for a couple more seconds. He's going to buy back now because Ace desperately needs the trouble. They're trying to save each other, but it just means they're all going to drown as Nigma start washing over them bit by bit. ILTW is fearless as he continues to charge in after hero who bounces in and out when he needs to. Gilger somehow making it and running the opposite direction of his base in order to try and stay alive. But ILTW catches up to him. They got buybacks, so Hellbear Smashers, they're not out of it just yet, but the net worth difference here is growing quite a bit.
Yeah. It's just so hard. There's too much catch, and you could see Stormer, that whole fight, he didn't leave his base. He recognizes the moment I identify myself, they're just going to come for me, and he still doesn't have a BKB, so there's really nothing he can do. No force stab. Oh, hey, they found him.
But on the left-hand side here, he's not too far away from his base, so we can probably still get out of here. Rasmus, the rest of his dragon form, has failed out here. Tofu having a TP from his base to his fountain.
Yeah, and the BKB used by the Ember, sure, but he's already down to the minimum duration. So no big deal. The Octarine as well. It's a less than 1 minute cooldown. See what's the saving grace? Trying to see how do you get back into this if you're Hellbear Smashers. Ace, he's going for the Swift Blink. It'll help, but it's just like who do you kill?
Yeah, they need a way to be able to control up ILTW because he's doing so much damage in these fights. Rasmus is out way deep. Maybe he can blink. He does. Now, this is an opportunity maybe for somebody to help him out, but it looks like maybe he's still too far away. BKB going to be used. The Ice Blast actually will hit Mind Control here. The Aeon Disc will keep him topped off. So no chance at a rebuttal from Hellbear Smashers. Ace also being found here, this time on the other side of the map. Hellbear Smashers split all over the place. They're running out to try and save Ace here on the second life, but Mind Control's here, so that second life of Ace, it's going to go down real quickly with the Terrorize and the Whirling Death. Yeah, you could see Ace just... Hellbear Smashers, they just seem to be out of it right now. They are getting picked apart constantly, and as they're getting picked apart, they seem to be more desperate to try and split push, and it just means Nigma are finding more and more opportunities to pick them apart. Vicious cycle. And now, without the frontliners, these backline supports and even Stormer, they look awfully scared for their lives here.
LTW and RMN have played a hell of a game. 15-1-11 on the Ember, RMN 8-1 and 14, but just playing so clean everywhere, like just constantly diving. And now we have a BKB on Stormer. There still isn't one on Ace, and you can see there's just too much control for him to deal with. He got off 3 attacks and 2 lives.
Retreat, retreat, retreat. Stormer keeps on poking at them and blinking away before he gets caught, but the problem is he's losing objectives in the process. Second lane of barracks, first lane of barracks rather, down. Nigma can start working towards the second one if they want, but the Wraith King is coming back up. They saved the Wraith King's buyback because ultimately 5-on-5s are hard enough, and they do not have a buyback on Rasmus, so a 4-on-5 seems near impossible.
LTW just styling. Got the Glepnir completed. I don't know if I've ever seen this item in a professional game when it wasn't in this setting. It's like, well, I'm just out of slots. Like, I need something. But even more control now. Arcane Rune to boot. He is incredibly tanky.
Yep. Certainly help him catch Stormer and those squishy supports a whole lot easier.
Yeah, he has the Arcane Rune, and finally near full Remnants. Up to 4 charges. It's more than he's had in what feels like 2 minutes, or 2 hours.
Here he joins and immediately jumps on, gets the Gleipnir onto the 2 supports. A Yule Scepter from Gilger, but he doesn't have anything to get himself out of this sticky situation. Ace starts backing up. This fight's already over. Hellbear Smashers. Back to the base they go. ILTW looking to catch some extras. They will manage to find Tofu here. He gets off the Ice Blast last second. Just before he dies, neither one of the supports has a buyback now. Rasmus approaching forward, Gleipnir onto the 2. They can keep chasing him as Rasmus is dead, and they know there's no buybacks left. They can just kind of keep running at Ace.
Man, talk about an Arcane Rune being value.
Yeah, seriously. He is all over the place. ILTW now popping the BKB before Ace could hit him with the stun. And even when Stormer is able to just chill out inside of his fountain, Nigma can still win this fight. But instead, they're going to opt for objectives, get megas, while Hellbear Smashers don't have the buybacks. Time to put an end to this series, it's looking like, as Stormer steps forward and finally does get caught. He's going to use the BKB, clear off all those stuns.
And don't forget also, just Kuro with his Spirit is removing all of these heroes' innate magical resist.
Yep.
It's a very chill ET game.
Gilger coming back. Tries to help Stormer. Does have a little bit of play. They do manage to get the kill, and he actually doesn't have buyback. So they get megas, but Nigma won't be able to end the game just yet, and especially if they can actually get these kills. Ace is going in deep here, and he's going to die, slowing everybody down, giving an opportunity for more of spells to be casted on Nigma. They've now killed 2 of the cores, and everybody else is free for them. And just as long as they have the disables to be able to catch them, all of these kills should be theirs. Hellbear Smashers finally winning a fight. Feels like they've lost the last 10, 15 engagements. They finally win one, but it comes at a cost of megas.
Talk about a... Is it a Pyrrhic victory? Pyrrhic victory? I don't know how the hell to pronounce it.
Yeah, but yeah, P-Y-R.
See, I can spell it better than I could say it, but I'm not going to try to do that either.
Pyrrhic, I believe, is the term.
Either way, they get some time to collect themselves.
Sure.
Consider the status of their base. Roshan is available with the refresher. You know, they're not out of it. I mean, talk about a rapier hero. It's queued, and Ace, he's thinking about it. He'll have the gold. ILTW just, you know, the burst damage, I think, yeah, the Laguna just shreds him. But he is also under tier 2s, and there are 5 heroes there.
Yeah, he pretty much committed to kill Stormer, barely missed out on the kill. And
it's not over. Rapier is selected. He's going to have Aegis on the Wraith King.
Okay.
This game is not over yet. You just have to deal with ILTW. Now, keep in mind, check out the buyback status. They don't have any on this Dire side. Not a single... Oh, sorry, no. Mind Control, of course, he's got his. The one responsible player on the team. Everybody else
GH2.
not got the gold.
GH2.
Okay.
They're 2 responsible players.
I guess ILTW's got his soon. He'll have to farm up a little bit, but, you know, just be conservative. Push the lanes, poke and prod. Let the creeps do most of the work.
Who took the
Refresher? Wraith King.
Oh, it was Refresher? Okay.
They might have preferred an Ags, but actually don't even know who it would have gone to.
Oh, it was maybe Wraith King.
Yeah,
Just because
that's
everybody's
true.
having struggling to stay alive. If they die, at least they can
I'm
get some
surprised
spells off
we
still.
don't see more Wraith King Axe. It's pretty bonkers. Like, it's one thing, it's like, okay, we survive an extra 7 seconds. You also get 70 attack speed, 25 move speed. 25% move speed.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty good. You can still spell cast and, like, auto attack.
Really is
You're untargetable.
Return of the King sort of situation. These ghosts just swarming over you.
That's the only part, by the way, of the entire trilogy that was a bit off to me. It's like, why didn't we just... Like, I understand the whole thing with the oath and everything, but couldn't we just extend that to, hey, go
Ace
get
is
rid of
in.
all the bad guys?
He gets a couple of swings onto ILTW. The Ice Blast is coming in as well. That's also going to land onto ILTW, but his BKB is keeping him rather healthy here. Gilgar going to be chain stunned up right now, but Rasmus does manage to get in there. The problem is the damage, even with the Divine Rapier, is looking kind of wimpy. Nigma just continue to kite around Ace constantly while killing all of his allies. Ace has got another blink coming up here. So you can jump back in. No, they're going to hold around the tier 4s while their Lena's dead. But Gleipnir, mind control, missing out. Chain just a little bit shy. Definitely could have killed Rasmus. May end up losing his life as a result. Trades out for Rasmus here. Ace trying to find something to hit. But good golly, Miss Molly. He just cannot seem to actually hit heroes for very long. He just kited around constantly. Stormer, committed, and inside of the fountain, ILTW does manage to get him. Make a creep swarming in. Stormer's gonna buy back here, but look at this. This damage. This Pugna just doesn't do anything. Half the time he's being Lotus Orbed, so RMN is getting a life drain right back onto him. The other half of the time, it's Ace. He gets like 2 swings in, and then he either dies or the enemy heroes run away from him.
He's trying his best, Cap.
He really is, but at this point, it feels like his throne is going to die before he dies. Stomp lands on a 2. Stormer being caught here. Not too good for the Smashers, is now the throne being at half health. The Ice Blast is going to come through the Laguna Blade, but it's still, they're rather healthy, especially with Ace being stuck inside the brambles, constantly stomped, brambled, slept, stunned up again by the Curse Crown. Stormer is like trying to stop this as best he can, but he's actually losing more HP than Nigma is, despite all the life training. ILTW is trying to kill them inside of the base right now, while Ace is dealing with the creeps as the creeps continue to march forward onto the throne. Nigma play it out nice and slow. Ace, he spots the Kuro, and he's like, enough of you. I'm tired of this stomp. But if he walks away from his throne, Nigma start gunning for it. They do pop the glyph, and that's going to be able to buy them a second chance here as Ace continues to move forward. Eye control, jumping outside of the base now, but the creeps keep on pushing forward. Stormer throwing his life on the line, but ILTW in the back will finish it off in style, jumping over and finishing off the throne. A 2-0 as Nigma. They had some fun winning this series against Hellbear Smashers.
They're all smiles, too. That